So my curiosity is getting the best of me a little bit. This has been covered in moss for so long. I wanted to take a little bit of peek, see if I can just rake back a little bit of this, just to kind of get an idea how the root base is coming along. I'm not going to repot or repot or root trim or anything like that, but this is more or less just my own curiosity. How are we coming along here on our root base? Got a couple small ones there. Turn this around here. Just to kind of see if we're getting any roots coming back from any further back. A little bit, not too bad. Getting some roots growing into there. Not a ton at this level here. Exposing a little bit more of this root base. There's a couple roots a little further back, giving me an idea that I might probably be able to raise the tree in its pot next year when I repot. This was more of a satisfy my curiosity thing. He just wonders what's going on underneath all of that moss and soil. Guess it's the equivalent of just taking a peek, looking at your Christmas presents early, and say, what's in store for me? Looks like we got a little bit of a wrapping root here. Well. Oh yeah, so I actually was able to move that root pretty easily. This one, I don't know where it's coming off of. It might even be coming down from way down. I don't even know where. This is the end or the beginning. See, that's going to be some nice roots there, I think. That's going to be part, if that's the front, we're going to see some nice roots that are going to be coming down off of that later. A little bit empty in this section here. I'm hoping that, I was hoping to get a little bit of roots into there, and we have got nothing in there right now. So we might have to bring roots over from here, kind of fill that gap. But oh yeah, so you can see that still basically a big hollow there with no roots in there. Yeah, that might be a flaw in the tree going forward. Now, what I might try to do, that big old hollow there, scoop, 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 scoop. Yeah, look at that. It's a big old hollow in that space there. No roots in that at all. Seem to be hitting roots in other places. I'm gonna try a little something. You know, so I'm not really gonna repot this until next spring. I'm going to see if I pack this with sphagnum moss. Sphagnum moss has a way of kind of encouraging root growth. Packing it with the bonsai soil in the last 2 years obviously hasn't done anything. So I'm going to pack this with some sphagnum moss and rebury it. And of course I'm going to rebury all of this because I don't want those new roots that I just found to dry out. But I'm going to see if that would encourage some root growth in here. I might even try giving a little bit of, a little bit of trauma to this area here. Scratching it down. Probably a better tool to use than that. Hold on a sec here. All right, I'm going to actually go in there and scrape away a little bit of the bark. Again, I'm hoping that the roots act a little bit like the branches, where they'll grow from points of injury. So if I want roots to fill that space, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just try and create a little trauma in that area. I'm going to then spread some rooting hormone in there and pack it with sphagnum moss. Kind of like you would do if you were doing an air layer. But I'm just going to try to see if I can get roots to grow in this area here. If it doesn't work, there were no roots there to begin with, and so nothing ventured, nothing gained. Let me go get some wet sphagnum moss. Okay, so we've got some of the rooting hormone. It's for the ones that are moderately difficult to root. I'm going to try a little bit on this side too, just to try to see if I can get some more roots in that area there. Now I'm going to take some of the wet sphagnum moss and just see if we can just pack it in there. See if that will help a little bit over into here. That helps encourage again. If this is going to be my front, this looks good. These big main roots look pretty good, but the other side's got kind of like it's kind of flat. It's got nice thin roots on there, but it doesn't have any of that like really spread. The back end of this thing is just flat. So unless over time that starts to flare out, we're always going to be using this as our front. So I want more visible roots in that front there. So we packed, that's pretty much all the sphagnum moss I got left. So I'm going to have to get more sphagnum moss. So we're going to try now to then see if we can comb all that stuff that we combed back off. We can comb it back up there. Get it all buried again. Bury that all back up. Yeah, I thought to myself, I'm not going to mess with these roots. I'm not going to mess with these roots. But the curiosity got the best of me. Got some of these chunks of moss that I removed. I'll throw that back up there. the misting system that I created this year for the bonsais really seems to be encouraging the moss to grow a lot. So I've always kind of, when I had these things just out in the open, I had a little difficulty getting moss to grow. Not this year. This year we seem to be having moss taking off pretty well. I don't have any problems underneath that tent with dry moss, dead moss, things like that. That's still our front. But now hopefully next year when we in springtime, when we open this back up again, there'll be some more roots. And that, of course, you'll have to wait till the spring of next year to kind of see if whether or not this works. Okay, that was a real quick one. You all stay cool. Happy bonsai.